morning, students, all of you.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Just in the first week of July, your periodic test will be conducted. So prepare for that also. Don't waste your precious time. Your studies must be continued. Actually, students, in our previous class, it was too much disturbing from our side. The light problem, somehow I was managed to take the class. So we will see little bit back the same chapter we were discussing about. That was atmosphere. Now I have the board also, so it will be easy for you to define few things which are necessary. The latecomers, let them join. They don't know the value of time. Very slowly moves. So we will
Good
see
morning,
here.
sir.
Good morning, everyone. Now it's all right.
Sir.
We were discussing about atmosphere in our previous class, and you know a lot of things about it. Then also, just for your reminder, I am going to explain again about the atmosphere, its components, its composition, and everything. As we know that the air is a mixture of gases, different gases like nitrogen, oxygen, argon, water vapor, carbon dioxide, dust particles, ozone gas, and lot. Out of that,
Good morning, sir.
Now it's stop, don't disturb. Is yes, okay. It's now just to join it. As we know that the percentage of nitrogen is maximum, that is about 78%, which is present in the atmosphere or one part of the air. It is very useful gas, especially for the plant kingdom, but they can't get it directly from the atmosphere. They takes it to its root from the soil. Second important gas, that is oxygen, and it contains in a composition of air, its percentage is up near about 21%. We know that it is also very essential gas for living organism, either it is plant kingdom or animal kingdom. We used to take it, inhale it, and we breathe out carbon dioxide, the third important gas, which is very useful for the plants. They takes it and they prepares food with the help of that. And again they releases oxygen. This is the oxygen carbon dioxide cycle. And few more gases like water vapor, water droplet, dust particles, in which the water vapor sticks with it. And causes precipitation. One of the very important gas in the composition of atmosphere is ozone, which is also very useful. One of the gases, one of the layer of the gases which absorbs the harmful rays which comes from the sun, that is ultraviolet rays. It can cause so many diseases like skin disease and different type of diseases, but the ozone layer, it absorbs it and protect us from those type of diseases. So that is about the different type of gases which are present in the atmosphere. Then we will see, already explained you the different layers of the atmosphere. It starts from the most bottom near the surface of the earth, that is known as troposphere. Here the air which is present is most dense, and all the weather phenomena took place in this layer. The upper portion, the upper part of troposphere, that is known as tropopause. One thing you just remember that from in the troposphere, as we move towards the higher altitude, the temperature decreases, and after tropopause, the action just changes. What type of changes? That beyond troposphere, the temperature stops decreasing. That is the last point. If it is troposphere, this is the zone, then till here the temperature decreases with height. But after tropopause, it stops decreasing. In this zone, the temperature conditions on the earth are also contains very important life sustaining gases, all the composition of different type of gases, and it extends up to 16 kilometers. That is little bit about our first layer of atmosphere, that is called troposphere. After troposphere, after 16 kilometers up to 15 kilometers, 15 not 50. The second layer of the atmosphere, that is called stratosphere, and this layer is cloud free zone. This layer is known as cloud free zone. So it is very suitable for the movement of jet planes, very suitable due to less friction. And one more important thing is that just I told you that temperature decreases with the height in this layer, but in this layer the temperature starts increasing with the height. We will see alternative in each and every layer. That is about the second layer of the atmosphere. Then after that, the third layer is known as mesosphere. It extends about 80 kilometers. From 50 to 80 kilometers, it extends. So here the temperature again, just I told you about the different alternative process. The first layer, the temperature decreases. In the second layer, the temperature increases, and in the third layer, that is the mesosphere, the temperature decreases, increase in the height. So you must remember that it is the third important layer. The upper boundary of mesosphere, that is known as mesopause, and this is the coldest layer with temperature here goes about minus 90 degree. The coldest zone, coldest layer of the atmosphere, and at the top of this layer, mesosphere, that is known as mesopause, and the temperature here goes almost about minus 90 degree. And here also the meteorites that enter in the Earth's atmosphere from other species burn up in this layer. That is the most important thing of this sphere. And the upper part of this layer is brightly colored. That is the third layer of atmosphere. Then we will enter in the fourth layer after 80 kilometers till 400 kilometers. From 80 kilometer to 400 kilometer, the fourth layer of the atmosphere, that is called thermosphere. That is its extension, and this layer is also known as ionosphere because the ions are present in this layer. It is the fourth layer. Again explaining, in first layer the
What is
temperature
ions?
in the first layer the temperature decreases with the height. In second layer the temperature increases. Third layer temperature again decreases and it goes about -90 degrees, the coldest. And again in fourth layer the temperature decreases here. Iron, what is iron? Someone asked what is iron. Actually iron, it is
Yes,
a,
sir.
yes, listen please. Ions are electrically charged particles. It is electrically charged particles, and it reflects the radio waves to the earth, making wireless communication possible. Whatever the radio waves from the earth, it goes up, and due to the presence of ions, these ions reflects all the radio waves towards the earth, and so that we can watch the different programs, wireless programs, like any TV program or any sound we use to listen. Just we are in the class, wireless class, everything is possible due to that. So the ions which are present here, which are very important. And finally we will move to the last layer of the atmosphere, that is known as exosphere. It extends about 1600 kilometers, and after that it merges with space. The thin air in this layer contains two important gases, that is helium, and
hydrogen.
yes, it is. So that is about our the different layers of atmosphere. Now we will move that is there any importance, what are the importance of atmosphere. So we can point wise we can say that you can write in your exam that first it acts as a protective layer against intense heat and cold, thereby moderating temperature on earth. Means it balances the extreme heat or extreme cold, and due to that we are able to live here, the life can exist here. The second important thing is it contains carbon dioxide, as you know very well, which is very useful for the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis means it is a process through which the plants makes their food, and it is very essential for the living organism. Third point, the importance of atmosphere is it contains oxygen and nitrogen, two very important gases, which are very essential both the gases for the existence of life on earth. Fourth important thing which is present here, the importance is that it contains water vapor, which being precipitation and influences various weather activities on Earth. That is the fourth point. So water vapor is also very important for precipitation. And the last one, fifth point, you may write that the ozone layer, which is again repeating you severally, that it is very important layer which absorbs the harmful rays of the sun, that is ultraviolet rays. So in this way you can mention, you can write the different uses of atmosphere. Now in the atmosphere, just I told you, in the troposphere all the weather and climatic conditions phenomena took place. What is weather? Actually weather, it refers to the condition of the air around us in a small area and for a very short period. Remember that, for a very short period and over a very small area. Whatever the conditions, weather, that refers the weather. And just opposite, climate is for very huge, large area. Stop, mute your sound. Mute your sound is coming. Please stop talking. And just opposite of it, that is the, I was just saying you about the climate. It is for a same condition, the weather phenomena, for a very large area and for a long period. That is the two things, especially the main difference of weather and climate. Now there are few elements of weather. What are the factors of weather? What are the elements of weather? So weather's elements are first rainfall. Second one is air pressure, snowfall, the winds.
Sir, please repeat again.
I am talking about elements of weather. Clear? Clear it
Yes,
is?
sir.
Elements of weather. The first thing, element of weather is rainfall. Second is air pressure, snowfall, winds, storms, humidity, and temperature. All together makes a weather. Now, weather condition affects us in our everyday life. So an understanding of weather helps in our daily lives. You might have seen the weather forecast in your news channels or newspapers. These are very helpful actually for the pilots or navigators who moves in the water, seas and oceans. The farmers, they waits for it, and also fishermen. Sometimes it may be, you might have noticed the forecast, about the forecast, that it may be the wind or cyclone will come with a great speed of 140-150 kilometers speed. And by listening that, the fishermen were not allowed to go in the seas or oceans for fishing. So these are very beneficial. Weather forecast is very beneficial, especially for these people. First element of atmosphere, that is air pressure. We can't feel it. It may be you might have gone through in your science classes what is pressure, what is air pressure. The air exerts pressure on us. That is known as air pressure. The weight exerted over a certain area on the surface of the earth, the weight of air which is exerted over a certain area, that is known as air pressure. And remember that air pressure decreases with increasing altitude. It is higher at sea level, and as we move towards the higher altitudes, it decreases. The instrument just to measure air pressure is called barometer, and it shows the pressure of air. Second important thing.
Sir, not understanding anything.
First you say your name. Hello. 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 Again, listen. The air pressures or not, air exerts pressure or not. You are not listening. Who is asking question? It is a very simple sentence I am telling you. The air which exerts pressure on a certain area over the earth, that is known as air pressure. We can't feel it. समझ में नहीं आता है कि एयर हमको प्रेशर दे रहा है कि नहीं. But yes, it exerts pressure. In your science classes, you may ask few questions related to you this air pressure, and your subject teacher will explain. Just feel a balloon, you will feel the air pressure and something like that. That is known as air pressure, and it is measured by the instrument that is known as barometer. Now it's clear? Why there is no reaction?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
The
sir.
second important thing, that is wind. Wind is also very important. What is wind? It is the horizontal movement of air. It is horizontal movement of air which causes due to the change of temperature. Repeating. Wind. What is wind? The horizontal movement of air due to the change of temperature. That is called wind. Now, it also changes the pressure. Air pressure increases when the temperature are low. It simply means in the cold areas, the pressure will be high, the air pressure will be high, and in the hot areas like equatorial area, the air pressure will be low. These are the two types of pressures. Winds blow from regions that is from low pressure area towards high pressure area. And in the coastal region, that's why the people enjoys cool sea breeze as air blows towards the hot land during the daytime from the sea. From the sea, this is the sea part, and this is land. I hope you know the characteristic of water and land, rocky area. The water becomes hot very slowly, but the land becomes hot very quickly. So in the daytime, the air which is present over the surface of earth, that is over the land masses, it becomes hot very quickly. So the air which is present here becomes less pressure of low pressure area. It becomes very slow. So the air is cold here, and it moves from sea to land in the coastal areas and makes the place very, very good. And they feels very comfortable, especially in the coastal people of coastal area. That is called sea bridge. And at night, just opposite of it, the land becomes cool very quickly. That is its characteristic. And the water of the sea, it becomes cool little bit late. So air present here is hot, and air which is present here, that is cool. At night, the cool air moves from the land area towards the sea. And to feel it, the air over the sea, it moves from towards the land. This is called land bridge and keeps the weather of coastal area very, very pleasant. This is about our sea bridge and land bridge, and about the winds, how they moves from low pressure area to high pressure area. The study of this weather, it is necessary to learn about the direction and speed of the wind. Very necessary. That from which direction the wind is moving. As you know, this is north, south, east and west. In which direction wind is moving and what is its speed, just to measure it, the instrument which is used for it, that is wind vane. Next one, I will clear you about the different type of winds, or before that, you should know that the winds which blows from the low pressure area on the globe, just I told you, this is your equatorial area. Equatorial area is very hot, and this zone is known as subtropical zone. Subtropical in both the hemispheres, in northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. In both the hemisphere, this area is known as northern subtropical zone. This area is known as southern subtropical zone. And here the pressure, air pressure is high. This is high pressure area. Both of these zone is high pressure zone. So just I told you, the wind moves from the high pressure zone towards the low pressure zone. So the wind here moves in this direction, from the subpolar area towards the equatorial area. Clear it is? And
Sir, please repeat again.
Again, listen. You can see that this is a model globe. At the middle of the globe, the equator passes. The equator receives maximum heat because the sun rays falls over this area directly. So it is the hot zone. We know that it is the torrid zone. And when it is the hot zone, means the air pressure is low. From here we will move towards the north and towards south. That area known as subtropical zone, northern subtropical zone and southern subtropical zone. Tropical because with the name of tropics. As we know that at 23.5 degree north, the tropic which passes through, that is known as Tropic of Cancer. And in the southern hemisphere at 23.5 degrees south, the tropic which passes through this area, that is Tropic of Capricorn. Due to the name of these tropics, this zone is known as subtropical zone. It is the cold place, cold zone. So the pressure, air pressure is here high, and the high from the air, the wind moves from the high pressure area towards the low pressure area, means towards the equatorial zone. From both the side, from the northern hemisphere, it moves towards the equator, and look the direction. It is moving towards the east. It is moving towards the east. You can see the direction, and this type of winds are called subtropical trade winds, or it is moving from south to east, from south to east. So the name of this wind is southeast trade winds. It is moving from south to east, so it is known as southeast trade winds. And in northern hemisphere, it is moving from the north side towards the east, so it is known as northeast trade winds. Clear it is. Now we will move towards the area, this area, that is subpolar zone. In both the hemisphere, this zone is known as subpolar zone. Subpolar zone near about 66.5 degree north and south, that is at Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. And from this zone, the wind moves in this direction, western direction. This is the low pressure zone, this is the high pressure zone. So wind always moves from low pressure zone to high pressure zone. The same phenomena took place in the southern hemisphere also. Just I told you the subtropical zone, that is the low pressure zone, and the wind moves in this direction, that is northwestern direction, and it is named prevailing westerlies. It is moving towards the west direction, so it is called prevailing westerlies in both the hemisphere. Third important wind which blows in our globe, especially in the polar zone, again this zone is known as polar zone, and we know that both the polar zone is very cold. It is also known as frigid zone, means the air which is present here are very cold. So the pressure in both the area, in both the zones, are high, and in this area the pressure certainly it will be opposite. It is the low pressure. This is high pressure area, and if the wind which blows from the polar area towards the east, and in this area polar area towards the east, and the name of such winds are polar easterlies. It moves towards the east direction, so it is called polar easterlies. These are the few important winds in our globe. It moves in a certain direction. These are the few examples. So I hope it is clear for you that why these and in which direction these winds moves. Just to remember that the winds moves from the low pressure area towards the high pressure area. That's why the cyclone causes, when the pressure over the sea it becomes low, and over the land it becomes high. We will see later on few examples of winds, how we can classify the different type of winds. The first is planetary wind or permanent wind. The first kind of wind is either it is planetary wind or permanent wind. With the word, you can easily understand the meaning. The wind which moves in the same direction all through the year. That is known as permanent wind. The second one is seasonal wind. Seasonal, again the meaning is just hidden in the word seasonal. The wind which moves in a certain season. Such type of winds are called seasonal wind, and the example is very simple, the monsoon winds. The monsoon winds only moves for few months for its particular season. So it is called seasonal wind. Even now you can see the clouds are moving in a certain direction. How it is rain falling, precipitation. After every 5 minutes the rain stops and again it starts. Means the clouds, the rain bearing clouds which are moving always, and it is causing rainfall in a particular area and then again it is passing away. This type of winds are known as seasonal wind. Third type of wind is local wind. The wind which specially moves in a particular area. It may be very dry or dusty. Even in the month of May and June in our state, the local wind in the summer season which blows, that is known as loo. Loo, very hot and dry winds. It blows in a particular area, not all over the country. So it is known as local wind. And the fourth one is variable winds. Means it varies. There is no certainty that in which direction it will blow. Such type of known as variable. And especially one more thing is there for the variable winds, that when cold air meets with warm air, when cold air meets with warm air, it starts the variable winds.